What's going on, everybody out there all across the world in radio land? You are listening to the number one station on the net, period, Hotline Radio. Of course, I'm your host of the Keith Harris Show, Industry International, Keith Harris himself. Once again, we'd like to welcome you back to another wonderful episode of the show today. Now, it's a very special episode, as a matter of fact. I've been looking forward to talking to this cast for quite some time now. They're doing wonderful things. They've got a wonderful project that's in the process. And so without any further ado, I'd like to introduce to you the cast of Dead Kansas. All right. So everybody get ready. Okay. First of all, we have Erin Carter. All right.
I'm here.
Say what's up to everybody, Erin.
Hello, world. How are you?
Next off, we have Joe McQueen.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing out there in the world? Pleased to be here.
And the amazing Erin Miracle. What's up, Erin? Erin?
Erin, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. What's going on, Erin? Say hello to the world.
Hi, world. I sure hope you guys are blessed today.
So listen, look, first of all, I want to send a special shout out to everybody. Look, tell everybody out there where you guys are from, as a matter of fact. Joe, and I had something to say to you because I was reading about where you're from too. So as a matter of fact, I'll start out with a big shout outs to North Carolina because you're from NC, right, Joe?
Yes, I'm from Pinehurst, North Carolina.
Okay. Big shouts out to them, man. As a matter of fact, we are, right now we are doing the show from North Carolina. So North Carolina is definitely in the building, man. So, I wanted to.
Oh, hello, NC.
No doubt. And Erin, how about yourself? Where are you from?
I was born in Nebraska, but I moved to Burbank, California at a very young age, and I've lived there ever since. So, from LA, Los Angeles.
Okay, that's what's up. And Erin? Oh, okay. Erin, I know with the different connections and stuff, it might be a little bit hard. They probably might not have been able to hear you. So, try to get your connection a teeny bit better. But I think we heard what you said. I believe we did. I'm not sure. But either way, we'll get back to it. We'll let you tell everybody where you're from again. First of all, I want to send you all kudos on Dead Kansas. Listen, I've been able to look. Where did the inspiration from that come from? Because I know, Erin, you wrote, directed, and produced it, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, where did that whole idea stem from?
Well, basically, it came from a dream that I had. It was a very lucid dream. Basically, I watched Night of the Living Dead from the 1968 version, and I watched The Wizard of Oz, the 1939 version, in the same night. And what happened was, I went to bed, and the two movies kind of integrated together in my dream. So, hence Dead Kansas. So, for the viewers out there who watch Dead Kansas, you'll notice there's a lot of similarities between The Wizard of Oz and Night of the Living Dead. Oh
wow, that's Did you know that how did you do that? Like, did you know you were going to do that, or were you just were you in the process of thinking of a great film or great project to make when you came up with that, or did it, in other words, did the idea come first accidentally, or did you premeditate that?
No, it was kind of by accident. I guess I can thank alcohol for that. I was going to hit a binge drinking night, and I was watching movies too, and as I was saying, the two movies, the dream was so lucid and vivid, so the two movies just kind of integrated together, and I pretty much got the idea from that little dream that I had, pretty much with The Wizard of Oz with zombies in it. And, I've never directed. This is my first time directing, producing, writing a script, and it was just, I really liked the idea, so I just ran with it, and here we are today.
I say this. I know it's nothing to you guys because you're in the industry, and so it's an everyday scenario for you all. I'm sure it comes easy because you mastered your craft. But for this to be the first project, this is a really good project, I'm going to have to say. Like, it's a great watch.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I really love sharing my story, with the world and being a part of the Dead Kansas franchise, because it gave me a chance to actually show me an action for a change versus, being behind the scenes or doing stand-in, and having big roles. But I'm glad that I was able to let everybody see me shine for a change,
Right. Well, Joe, I know you were in you were also in another project as well, which was where you played Confessions of a Superhero, right?
Yeah.
Tell everybody about that, man. I know a lot of people who be out there on the West Coast, they probably know a bit about that, but for those who don't, can you explain to people about Confessions of a Superhero? And you played the Hawk in it, right?
Yes. Basically, it's a free performance job that a lot of starving artists come here and they need to find a job. So if they can't find that waiter job, cosplay has got big over the years. And I myself have to say that the reason for Confessions of a Superhero, the cosplay world started getting big after they started seeing, the different, costume characters follow their dream. And finally, myself, I was always trying to figure out how can I change with the time. And I knew that the superhero stuff was getting big with the movies. And I was like, you know what, let me take advantage of this and let it happen. And before you know it, I've got hooked up with the documentary. And when the documentary hit, that's when a lot of other opportunities came. And I've known Erin for about, I'd say, 14 years now. We would, meet each other at the comic book show. And he never knew I was, an actor, until he saw Confessions. And he was like, hey, man, you blew me away in Confessions. I like to, put you in my movie. And I was like, hey, man, that's an honor. And that's how the story goes.
Hey, I know that's right, too. Go ahead.
I don't know if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that's so cool is, like Joe was saying, there's a lot of artists that come out here and need work. And I was one of those, and I remembered seeing Confessions of a Superhero long before actually having worked with Joe. But remember seeing the movie that he was in, and I ended up going out there and I Tinkerbell on Hollywood Boulevard, and that's how I survived. And then later, I ended up acting in a movie with Joe. So it's definitely a small world.
Wow. So like you say, Erin, you kind of started off or had your opportunity in the cosplay in the cosplay platform as well.
I did. Well, that was just one. That was really how I survived out here with times that got tough. I've been doing really well with dancing and acting and stuff, but sometimes the work gets hard, and there's a lot of things that people want you to do that I would not do. And I remember just being really scared, like, I'm not leaving and I'm not giving up, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. And that movie that Joe was in, Confessions of a Superhero, just flashed in my mind. And I thought, well, maybe I can go out and be a character. And I made great money, actually. And then I got a job bartending, which was where I met Aaron Carter. He was a regular at my bar in Burbank. And he just came in one day and said that he needed an actress to replace the original Emma, and asked if I wanted to be involved. And I said, absolutely, I would be honored.
Oh, wow. So wait a minute. So let me get this right. So Erin, you were in Confessions of a Superhero also?
I know she was on the boulevard.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's how her and Joe kind of indirectly met a long time ago.
Okay, you know what? I tell you what though, that's really cool because I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of people don't know that. Just like you guys speak about cosplay, so many people don't know just how big that really is. Even myself, just after talking to more people, actors and actresses in the industry, that is a huge deal, and it seems like it's a great way to get on. Now, let me ask you a question. I'm gonna go back to you again for a second, Erin. You're playing Tinkerbell, right? How was it? I mean, how was it to just be able to go into the character of playing Tinkerbell? You know, was it the basics of watching and just kind of following the movements and knowing what to do? And just how did you pull that role off?
What's cool is that was kind of my nickname in dance school growing up because I'm really little and I'm blonde and I look just like her. But when I was out there, you know, it was a scary time in my life, and it was really about believing, not giving up on believing. And so I dressed as Tinkerbell, and all these little girls saw me, and it was like their dreams just came true because I looked exactly like her. So I was putting little glitter in their hands and telling them to not give up on their hopes and dreams and to keep believing. And it was exactly Tinkerbell and continuing to believe, which is how I survived that year. So in playing that role and believing in myself and not giving up on that dream, I survived. And it also was just having that character of Tinkerbell and telling these little girls to do the same, to not give up on their dreams and to keep believing because I was living proof of it.
Right. Now, you know, and Erin, I know you're still there. I'm not forgetting. We're going to get back to you know, you masterminding this idea and bringing everybody together like this. But just to give a, you know, I just want to go back and ask you again, Joe, because you said you played. Now, listen, you played the Hulk. I've got to ask the question: what is it like playing the Hulk? Because the Hulk is mad. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The Hulk is mad. He. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you do that for those who haven't been able to see this physically? Like, you know, are you roaring? Are you picking up stuff? How do you do that?
Well, basically, what I would do, I would just stay in character, and you know, as the tourists are coming up, I'd be like, "Hello, everybody, welcome to Hollywood. Would you like a photo with the Incredible Hulk?" And, you know, they could, you know, it's like they couldn't see me. And, you know, with knowing that, oh, is that a black dude? You know, how they would notice when they come walking their real clothes, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, he sounds like a black man. And then I'm like, well, you know what time it is, Jeff. I'm the host of Brothers, you know. But, you know, some would diss it and some would love it, you know, because it was like, hey, how many times did we get to see the Hulk on the street take a photo with him?
Exactly.
So, you know, I've been blessed with, you know, having people come to me, you know, breaking bread and just enjoying a conversation and me greeting them, you know, because you got a lot of characters out there that are bad and, you know, they're all about, you know, getting the money and not giving back, not saying thank you. And, you know, I had to deal with that for so long, you know, and I retired in 2013 doing the Hulk. So, you know, I moved on, but at that time doing it, it was fun, and then it was like, you know, it was like time to move on and continue my career, you know, and I feel great, you know, at least I have something I can always say, hey, I've been there, done that, and I've inspired a lot of people, not just, you know, in California, but all over the world, you know, Confessions of a Superhero is everywhere around the world now, on Netflix, everywhere. So, for the people who don't know about it, go check it out, you know.
Absolutely. Now, all right, Erin, you know, you're writing and producing, directing. Have you done any acting, or has that been something you've thought about doing? Are you acting in Dead Kansas at all, or?
You know, after college, I did a couple like background actors job with Central Casting. So I was in a couple you know, background acting things. And in Dead Kansas, I do a stand-in role too. But as far as acting goes, I'm more of a behind-the-scenes kind of guy.
Okay, so you're pretty much putting it together and stuff like that. Now, how did you come up with the characters? And you know, when I ask you these questions, stop me if it's, you know, ask you to give too much away, because it's a great story, and I want everybody to definitely go check it out. But how did you come up with these characters that you did? Like, you know, just the concept.
Well, again, it is following the Wizard of Oz storyline, so they're very loosely based on the characters from the Wizard of Oz. Like Erin Miracle's character, Emma, for example, she kind of plays like the Dorothy. She's the one that's going on this adventure. She's the one that has to go find a doctor because her dad got bit by a zombie, and she has to, you know, going out to rescue him. So she's the one on the journey, and along the journey she meets three guys. Joe McQueen is the first guy she meets, and he represents. His name is Skinny in Dead Kansas, but he represents the Scarecrow. Okay. So and Joe McQueen was perfect for that role. Actually, originally in the script, Skinny was written as the white guy, but then when I met Joe McQueen, I'm like, well, you're perfect for the role, so color doesn't even matter.
Right.
And Joe McQueen did a great job, and I was really impressed. I was impressed with everybody's acting actually, but Joe McQueen did a really good job and brought a lot of life to the character. And then she goes on and meets a guy named Rusty, and he plays kind of like the Tin Man character. He carries an axe. And then she meets a guy named Leo, and he kind of plays the lion character. He's kind of like a scary cat. Wow. And of course, you have Jebediah in my film. He kind of represents the Wicked Witch. He's the one that wants to kidnap the girl because girls are kind of like a commodity in this post-apocalyptic zombie world.
Right.
So finding women in this post-apocalyptic zombie world, women are very rare, and this guy, he's a scumbag. He wants to kidnap her to try to sell her. So she's trying to rescue her dad, but then she's got zombies that she's gonna fight. She's got this Jebediah guy and his gang that are trying to get her. So it's a horror adventure film, and there's a lot going on.
Well, see, and that's why that's where I was going with that question, because I understand in somewhat of a way with your idea comparing it to the Wizard of Oz, but there's the people in Oz are not going through what you guys are going through in this. You know what I mean? It's it's different and edgy, as you say. Like the people are trying to kidnap Emma, and they're a commodity, as you say. She's the only woman. They might want breeding rights, and so you guys are going through fighting a whole lot of people in this, and that's what I meant by just the concept of coming up with it, is to be able to add that action and adventure into it in general. Let me ask you a question. For the people out there, there are some people dying in here, right? Not you guys, but are you guys, Emma and Skinny, are you guys killing anybody in the movie?
Yeah, there are a few people that die in the film. And going back to the whole Wizard of Oz thing, it's very loosely based. So Dead Kansas is a very original idea, and
right.
Yeah, it kind of goes on its own thing. And a lot of the ideas for the film, I have a very warped sense of humor, so that plays a lot. You'll see a lot of my humor throughout the whole film.
Yeah, because it is, the few parts that I did see, I like that too. Listen, let me tell you, that was something else I liked about it when I watched it, is that it was funny. And it was attention grabbing as well, just the lines and things like that. When you wrote, how long did it take you to write this? Because I believe you said you broke it up. It was into 5 parts, I think it was.
Yeah, well, the script, it probably took about a year. I did it on and off. I actually wrote the script back in like 2005, and I didn't actually get into production on Dead Kansas until 2012. So it sat in my drawer for a long time, and I did chop it around a little bit, but people weren't biting. I don't think people were ready for the whole. Now you gotta remember, this was before The Walking Dead blew up, so at the time zombies they weren't as hot as they are right now, and so a lot of people dismissed the script. So so I took it upon myself to make the film. I'm like, you know what? I don't have a lot of money, but I'm going to produce this thing myself, and with the little bit of amount of money I have, and I'll just do it myself. Because if I do it myself, I can do it the way that I want to. I don't have to compromise with the studio or some producers that wanted to do it their way. I want to be the creative guy that makes all the decisions on this. So this is my baby, and I made it pretty much the way I wanted to, without having to compromise, and that's something I'm pretty proud of.
Hey, that's always a good feeling when you can bring your creative side to the table. And then you guys' working relationship together is also amazing. I mean, like I think Joe mentioned earlier, you guys have known each other for, say, 14 years, I think you said, or was it 4 or 4?
Yeah, about 14 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met I worked the front door at the LA Comic Book Convention at the Shrine, and I've been doing that since I was very young. I worked just making sure people pay and check their wristbands and stuff. And Joe McQueen, he was a regular there, so I would see him on a monthly basis. I would see him all the time. And then eventually, when I saw Confessions of a Superhero back in I think 2007 or 8 or whenever it came out, I'm like, wow, that's the guy from the comic book convention. So, and I talked to him previously before that. We were friends, but I just never knew he did that movie. So I always kept that in the back of my mind as far as when I needed to do casting. Oh,
okay. Hey, Erin Miracle, do you keep these guys how are these guys on set? Do you keep them in line on set? Being the lady of the cast?
Yeah. No, they keep me. I guess I've done professional acting for a really long time, and asked to do this role, I just thought that it would be real easy, and I'd be fresh.
Hello?
Okay, yeah. Well,
I think did she drop out again?
Yeah, slightly, but she can probably hear us. I guess she'll come back. It's a bit of a connection. Erin, are you there? Okay, but yeah, so then, okay, you know what? So then I'll ask you guys these questions, as well. How just what's an average day on the set for you guys? I know you're having fun and things like that, and there's a lot of joking going on in the set. I know you're focused though, not too much joking, but just how.
Well, I tried to be very laid back as far as being a director goes. I know a lot of directors are really hard up on having the actors read verbatim the script, But I let the actors I gave them the script, and I said, you know what, if you can say the line in a different way, or maybe ad-lib a little bit, it's fine. I give you permission, it's fine. Because, when I was writing the script, I had to write 20 different characters, 10 different characters, and it's hard to really make each character an individual character. So I let the actors kind of put their own spin on their character, So I let them say the line the way that they would say it. Joe McQueen, he has a different way of talking than the way that the character was written. So he made it flow a little better. So I was pretty laid back as far as that goes, but I did know exactly what I wanted.
Right.
So as far as that went, I was pretty locked in, but I did give the actors some freedom.
Well, yeah, and when you're working with creative, two creative people, with the experience that they have, I guess it's all right to do that because they bring two separate flavors to what it is that you're trying to pull out of each scene, I assume.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. Now, also a few other. Erwin Keys is also in Dead Kansas too, right?
Yeah, I was very fortunate enough to get. Well, okay, in the second part of the movie, Emma goes to a place called Shambles, and it's kind of like a freak show place. And that's where they first go to get help for her dad, and in there she meets Joe McQueen, of course, and then she meets Erwin Keys, he plays the giant, and then she meets Ben Wolf, and he plays kind of like the leader of the group. And Ben Wolf's a little guy. You might recognize him from American Horror Story.
Right.
He played Meep in the last season. So I was very fortunate enough to get Joe McQueen, Erwin Keys, and Ben Wolf in that scene because they brought a lot of flavor to that scene, but especially since it's kind of like a carnival circus type theme, and those three guys are very interesting characters. So that was great. And going back to Erwin Keys, he's been acting since I want to say the '60s, but definitely the '70s. He was in the Jeffersons.
Right.
He was in the original Friday the 13th. He was in the Warriors. He was in House of a Thousand Corpses. He was in the Flintstones. A bunch of movies. If you go to IMDb and look him up, his resume goes on forever.
Right.
And I was very fortunate. I actually ran into him on the street, of all things, and told him I recognize him, and if he'd want to do this independent film with me, and he actually agreed to do it. So I was very fortunate enough to have them be part of that.
Right. I want to take a quick second to Erin. Now, Erin Miracle, when you're there, just cut on in. That way we know if you're there. Now, where because I know you guys had a couple episodes on YouTube at first, but where can people go check them out now?
Okay, so originally we broke the film up into 5 parts, and for a while, all 5 parts were available on YouTube. Currently, only the first part, which is about 15 minutes, is on YouTube right now. And the reason I took the other 4 parts down is because it's going to be on Amazon Instant Video in the next month or so. And on Amazon Instant Video, you can watch the entire film tied together, no breaks, you know. So that'll be on Amazon Instant Video. But if you go to YouTube, if the viewers go out to YouTube and just type in Dead Kansas, you can watch the very first 15 minutes of the film. And you know, I think the first 15 minutes, it really
it grabs.
It really shows you what's coming up. You know.
Yeah, it really does grab you. I encourage all listeners out there to go check it out. You know, as a matter of fact, I remember when I first watched it some months ago, as a matter of fact, and I posted it because it grabbed me, and I posted it up and was like, you know, advising to people to go check it out because, you know, there are a lot of good web series out there, obviously, and you know, there's certain, but people, you know, obviously people know that they're a lot harder to get attracted to web series, you know, than they are maybe feature films or different things like that. But you guys put together a project that a person could get stuck in because there's comedy. I remember a few lines that y'all had that I was laughing at. You know, then they're coming out with and then they're coming out with the guns and stuff. And, you know, listen, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna tell you one thing I really like about this. Just that whole element of the father and the daughter also, you know, the family orientation of trying to protect the land that they have and the other people coming and trying to take it. I mean, you guys put that together well, and that's why once again I advise everyone to go and check it out, because once you get trapped into it, you're gonna want to see more. And you know, no doubt. Now, what can everybody kind of expect in the future from Dead Kansas? I mean, you know, I guess nobody's ever going to fall in love in this story, is it, or is that?
Well, the feedback that we've gotten so far has been very positive. A lot of people like it. They watch the first act and then they watch the next one. And I notice that each act is a little different. I try to make each act a little different. Like the first act is at the farm, then they go to the freak show, circus place, then you know. So there's always something new going on in Dead Kansas. As far as the future goes, you know, if the opportunity came up, I would love to, I guess, remake the movie into a bigger budget version, kind of like how Robert Rodriguez did with El Mariachi and Desperado, or like how Sam Raimi did with Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. He basically had a film, an independent film, and it got popular, and then they went ahead a few years later and redid it on a bigger scale.
Right.
So I would love to do that. I also have a couple other projects in mind. I want to do a horror anthology. And when I say horror anthology, I mean like in vein of the 80s movies like Creepshow, Tales from the Crypt,
right.
The Twilight Zone. Kind of like a movie that has like 4 short stories in it. And I'm currently writing the 4 short stories right now. So that's probably next on my filmography. I'll probably work on that next.
Okay, and yeah, like, you know, I guess going back to the question, because I don't know. I wanted to make sure that I said it right, or that you heard it clearly when I said fall in love. I know that the viewers are going to fall in love with the story and the plot and everything. What I was actually, you know, trying to say is there, will there be any are there going to be any relationships? Like, are there any room for relationships on this type of, you know, on this type of film, or is that like far-fetched?
This is Joe. Joe McQueen. Well, as far as like, I guess, you know, relationship goes, we haven't like really, you know, like, I guess, worked around that.
Yeah.
But as far as like how we ended it, we're trying to incorporate now the element of relationships as far as, you know, who's connected to who, and who's really fighting who, you know.
Yeah.
So this story is never ending, so it's continuous. We just got to get that next main plot going. Yeah, to answer your question, the ending is open-ended, so it's not a definitive ending. The ending of the film is open for a sequel.
Okay, yeah. Look, I know that. I was trying to get the next. That's what I was trying to get out of y'all. I was there, but I had to pick a certain topic to at least try on, so that's why I picked the relationship with. But yeah, you know what? It you know, like I say, because listen, you know, because like I say, the storyline. What I like about this is that it's not just about killing. Again, there's that family value. You know, there's that family value element into it also, and a lot of people probably don't realize the in-depthness of that in general. And it really means a lot. So, that's
the father-daughter relationship in particular in the film is very deep. The father, he's they're in a post-apocalyptic zombie land. Right. So they're about 10 years into this thing. So the father is very protective of his daughter. She's never even left the farm before. That's how protective he is, because he knows if she leaves the farm that she'll get either eaten by zombies or some hicks will come by and snatch her up. But again, she's at an age like it's almost becoming at the age film too, because she's at an age where she wants to go out and explore, and she's bored of her family life, so she wants to get out. But her father, on the other hand, he's very protective of her, and he's also a very religious man, very pious man. So, he kind of goes about and tells her stuff in a very poetic way about not going out because bad things are going to happen to you, and you just got to be good, and you got to stay in the house. So I think that element of the story is very strong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's all in act, and that's all in the first act. That's the whole setup, the dimension between the father and daughter. So yeah.
I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to seeing what happens to the guys who came to the house. I know I know there's going to be some plans for them in the future too. The guys that showed up on the farm, and like you say, that's and so this apocalypse has been going on for a while. Like they've been living like that for quite some time now. So
yeah, the movie kind of just starts with it, and a lot of zombie movies, the movies in Walking Dead too, they start off with the kind of like right before the apocalypse happens, and it kind of shows the transition into the apocalypse. But in Dead Kansas, the apocalypse has already happened, and it's been happening for the past 10 years. And then going back to the whole family-friendly thing, Dead Kansas also is family-friendly. I made a conscious effort not to have very much cussing in it, if any. I don't think there's any cussing. Very little blood. There's no nudity. So things are very tasteful. In fact, there's also very little zombies in the film. I mean, there are zombies, but we kind of did a different approach with the zombies. In Dead Kansas, they're point of view zombies, and when I say point of view zombies, I mean that the camera acts as the zombie's eyes, and that the actors react to the camera as if it was a zombie. So.
Oh, okay. You know what? I get it now. And when you said that before, I was thinking that I had seen it, but all right, exactly. So if a zombie gets hit, if a zombie gets hit, then it's like the viewers getting hit.
Exactly. Like for example, we'll approach one of the actors with a handheld camera and with a black and white lens, and then the actors would shoot at the camera, and then the camera would fall to the ground as if it's through the zombie's eyes. And to my knowledge, this is the first zombie film where they actually do the point of view zombie aspect, because I've seen a lot of zombie films, being a zombie fanatic, and I don't think I've ever seen this twist on it before. So for a lot of your zombie viewers out there and listeners, that is a new element that they should check out.
Right, and it also means that the viewer, now you get to be the zombie as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like a first-person shooter, you know?
Right. Now, okay, and Erin, because I know you're listening out there, Erin Miracle. We miss you, so we kind of wish we could hear you right now. But listen, as a matter of fact, it's amazing because I want you guys to come back on the show again. We'll set it up so you all can come.
I'd love to come back on the show.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, to come back on again and just talk about this more. I tell you, when I watched it, when I watched the episode that was on YouTube that night, I was sitting next to somebody and I watched it and I had my headphones on and I made them watch it afterwards. I was like, you got to watch this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it's one of those things. Sometimes people think you're corny when you're looking at something. You're like, no, I want you to see this. And they're like, okay, all right. But, like it was really good and everybody enjoyed it. So, before we get ready to get out of here, I want to, for you all to give the shout outs to who you want to give them to. And I also want you to let everybody know where they can go to purchase the film to watch, to purchase the episodes and watch them. And also on behalf of Erin to give shout outs for her too, because I feel so bad we can't hear her right now. So
yeah, we'll let Joe go first. Go on, Joe. Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who gave me support over the years of my career. Thanks for supporting me. Shout out to all my fans and supporters of the Dead Kansas film. And hopefully that we continue to grow, which we know we will. And that's about it. You can find me on Instagram under Joe W.McQueen, Facebook Joe McQueen, and Twitter Joe Holt McQueen. And look me up on IMDb as well. Yeah. Okay. And then as far as Dead Kansas goes, again, you can watch the first 15 minutes of Dead Kansas on YouTube. Just type in Dead Kansas in the screen there, and it should pop up. And then within the next month or so, the whole film of Dead Kansas, the whole feature-length film, will be coming to Amazon Instant Video. So, and I put it at a very cheap price. Because you can name your own price. I put it at a very cheap price, or I should say inexpensive price for people to watch the film. Now we also have an IMDb page, and we also have a Facebook page. So, come and check us out on Facebook. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes photos on there. There's a lot of photos of us on the set, goofing around, a lot of candid pictures. So Facebook has the best behind-the-scenes photos. Make sure to give us a like, too. And as far as Erin Miracle goes, she's on Facebook as well. And she also works at a couple bars here in Hollywood. She works at the Snug over in Burbank on Magnolia, and she works at the Tin Horn over here in Hollywood. So that's where you can find Tin Horn Flats. Is it on Highland, Joe? Yeah, Hollywood and Highland. So it's right there in the heart of Hollywood.
No doubt. Listen, once again, I want to congratulate all of you on your success. Erin, kudos on all your success. You're multi-talented, Erin Miracle. You're dancing, the cosplay and just the acting, and your performance is impeccable. So keep up the great work. Erin, you speak about this being your first project, and you're doing it well, man. I mean, for it to be your first project, you've obviously taken your idea and your mental, and you really knew how to express it. And for a lot of people because everything's a learning process, and it's a big deal when you can come into something and do it for your first time and really know how to put your vision, into actuality, how to really bring it to the forefront and be that good and that well at it. And Joe, you've been holding it down as the Hulk, you know what I'm saying? And now you're doing this too, man. So, big shout outs and kudos to you too, man, for doing your thing. And, I think you guys make an amazing team, and I look forward to this whole project in Dead Kansas. I've got a great feeling about it. I know it's going to go far, and I really believe in it, and I think people are going to love it. And soon this evening, I'm going to go post that YouTube episode, if you guys don't mind. I'm going to go put that up again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, just going back to that, what you're just saying, the reason I really took the reins on this position is because I really believed in Dead Kansas. I knew it was a good idea, and I really ran with it. And I think that's one of the most important things is just believing in your product and your idea. It really helps, with the drive. If it was something that I was just kind of iffy about, or I wasn't too sure, I probably wouldn't have put as much effort and love into it. So for all the filmmakers out there, just make sure that you're really passionate about the projects that you're working on.
Right, and to just kind of add on to what you just said too, one thing I respect and I like about you all is that your ability to be able to work together. I talk to people all the time, not to step on my own toes, but I talk to people all the time, and in the industry, and sometimes those things play a part. Like, you have to be comfortable and you have to be able to have a chemistry, between the people that you're working with, and you guys have that chemistry of being able to work together. And that means a lot, because sometimes one of you just might know what the other one's thinking already, or you just kind of know what the other one's getting at. Like, you get it, and that's really important. And I think that has a lot to do with why you guys are so successful in what you do.
Oh yeah, I made a conscious effort to get a good team together, and I made sure that the people I worked with were people that gelled with my character. I'm a pretty easygoing guy, but you really do have to just see if there's chemistry between the people that you're working with, because one bad person in the mix, it really hinders everything. And with that Kansas, I got along great with everyone. A lot of my friends are involved, and to this day, I still hang out with a lot of the cast and crew from the film on a regular basis. They're all my friends, so
right.
That is a very important aspect.
Right. Everybody out there on the West Coast, listen, make sure you check out all these guys. Make sure you go see Erin, and Joe and get your autographs. If you're out there in Hollywood and you're going to the bar, step in and say what's up to Erin, get her to sign an autograph for you, sit down and, get to know her, show her some love, and Joe and Erin as well. Look,
thank you.
Listen, I really, no doubt, man. Look, I really appreciate you all coming on here today. Like, it was an honor for me to have you.
It's our pleasure. Our pleasure, man.
Right, because I like your project. I talk to people all the time, but I really like what you guys do, and I respect it, and it's a big deal. Everybody out there all across the globe, make sure in the next month or so, which of course you can check the social media sites, as they said, also keep up with my page and my social sites also, because I'll help keep you guys informed as to when the film is coming out. So you can go check it out on Amazon. In the meantime, go check out the YouTube short. That way you can get the whole vibe and the gist and be ready for it, get the plot behind what's going on. Make sure you go support this Dead Kansas team. They're doing their thing, and shout them out. Say what's up to them on social media and stand behind them. You guys are, listen, we're going to talk about that and get you all to come back on the show and stuff like that.
We'd love to.
Okay, and once again, I like I say for Erin, even though I know, look, you're still with us. That's just what I want to say. I don't know how to put it, but you're still with us, and that means a lot. So we'll be talking to you guys later. Everybody out there all across the world, you listen to Keith Harris on the Keith Harris Show, Industry International, right here with Joe, Erin, and Erin of Dead Kansas. Don't y'all go nowhere. Also, let me remind everybody, for those who may have tuned in possibly late, you're just getting off work, you're in a different time zone, whatever it may be right now. The full interview will be posted up shortly on the social media sites. So you can go to Facebook and check out the whole interview in case you miss anything, or if you want to let anybody else know that came in late or just came home or whatever it is, that they can check the interview out as well. So be looking forward to that. Listen, man, kudos to you guys. I thank you very much for coming on, and I'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
All right, take care.
All right, you too, kids.
Bye-bye. That was the cast of Dead Kansas. Wonderful, wonderful group of people doing an extraordinary job. We appreciate them coming on today. So much respect for them and what they do. We feel bad that we kind of lost Erin, but hey, that's the technical side of things sometimes. But she's still with us, and we're still with her. So good job, Erin. We know you've been doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Congratulations to making a great team even greater. All right. So big shouts out to everybody out there. Once again, make sure you go check them out, support them. They'll be out on Amazon next month. You can check them out on social media and go to YouTube and check out their project as well. All right. In the meantime, once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today with us. You are listening to the Keith